What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith, Hope, Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inject Mondays. I got Big Frank here with me. Today we just came to talk a little bit. Today I wanted to talk about mental illness. Mental health used to be one of the most untalked about subjects growing up for us. Today you can't even like turn on the TV, scroll on social media without seeing some form of advertisement for mental health. And when I did some research, it said that over 2.7 million children in the US are suffering from some form of mental illness or severe depression. And it kind of just intrigued me a little bit because it's like, what do we do? What do we, how do we recognize this? How do we effectively communicate with our youth to make this different? Um, and for me personally, like the saying "be who you needed when you were younger" kind of came to mind because it's like you have to take yourself back to when you were a child and what the desires that you had that you didn't receive, and try to feel how you could make that difference in your children. Um, when I like to say like remind myself of that because what did I need? I needed people to see deeper than the surface. I needed people to get to know me, but how can people get to know me if I'm constantly closed off? If I'm constantly not trusting anyone or fearing opening up to people, all of those things play a factor into, trying to be healed because you can't heal what you don't know. And kids don't want to be constantly criticized and judged for their wrongdoings and like opening up. So
Mhm.
it led me to think, like that's not what they want to feel. And I'm learning as a parent now, like I'm guilty of it too because it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, you're just a kid, like you don't have no feelings or like you don't like my daughter always telling me her back hurt and I'm like, girl, you're only 14, like your back, you don't have a back. And I'm like, but guess what? Her back really has been hurting her, and we went to the doctor for it. So it's just like small things like that, and I know too, like some kids even fear their parents. Like they're scared to open up to their parents because they're scared what they're gonna say
No,
back.
for sure.
And I don't want our kids to be like that. I want our kids to open up to us. I want kids to like talk to us, and if they can't talk to their parents, kids deserve a safe space.
Hmm.
And for me, my safe space was at school. Like I had teachers and guidance counselors that actually care. And I know that now it's a whole different ballgame. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that teachers don't care, but there are some that don't. Some are just there doing the bare minimum and having a great day after that. Um, so today, the first thing I wanted to say is, stop telling our kids that they're just kids, because just kids have feelings. Like
Yeah.
and their feelings matter. And yeah, I know you're just a child, but hearing I'm just a child and I don't have feelings, like that can make them like hold it in even more. Um, and I'm learning now, like these kids are not. This is a whole different generation than the way we grew up.
Oh, valid.
So they're not as headstrong as we were. And that's not on to say anything against them because it's a different time. They didn't have to survive the struggle. They didn't. Some of them, not all,
Hmm.
but it's different in general. Just from going to school, the bullying today is far worse than what it was when I was younger.
Yeah.
We might pick on you because you ashy a little bit or something,
But no,
but these kids gonna pick on you no matter what.
for sure.
Like, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what can we do to let kids know, like, you can talk. It's okay to open up. It's okay to
Right.
be vulnerable. Like, I'm tired of hearing black boy don't cry. Like, like
Yeah.
that's unfair.
Yeah. I think that they call it cultural competence is the word that's used now,
Oh wow.
which means that this generation you have to be tapped into what's happening, what's current. And I think that sometimes as adults we are not tapped in. We just, oh, this is what it was. No, but where is it now?
Right. Where is
Um,
it at right now?
we perish for lack of knowledge. So we did things or we do things not knowingly, but now we realize that there's been some damage done. So now it's time for some damage control, and you can't always child place. Oh, stay in the child's place. Actually, I'm in the child's place, and it still hurts.
Exactly.
There's still pain. I still feel.
Right. And it's like, how do I release that? These kids they don't have the community center that they can go and play with their friends like we did. They sit on group FaceTime all day, and I'm just like, this is what
Yeah.
y'all do all
Right.
day. And it's like, even I'm learning though, even through my 14-year-old, they don't have the deep conversations. Like some of them are open up to my daughter, which I love that for her.
Mhm.
And they'll tell them like one of her friends is adopted, and she's like, I don't know my mom, and I just wonder like, where's she at, what's she doing? Like, kids need friends like that, but
Yeah.
instead you have cruel kids who don't know that I'm coming to school because school is my safe place.
Right.
And that's, I
Right.
think, what hurts a lot too, because we're not teaching our kids how to be vulnerable. We're not even teaching them about mental health in school.
No, at all. Not at all.
School's not teaching them mental health. They're just like, here you go, you have an assignment, have a great day.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not taking the time to break down their feelings. I feel like all of that was broken down for us. Like
Hmm.
your feelings, how to master them, like how to, like, not mental health per se, but it was a breakdown of each individual
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah. And I'll say this, and you may not like it, but
Say it.
no,
You like saying that.
no, because I think the children now are more advanced a lot sooner, a lot quicker,
Absolutely.
and I also think that it's taking the adults by surprise. Like, how do you know so much so fast? How are you exposed to this so
Yeah.
early? And also them not having the answer and deflecting instead of going to get the answer to bring it back. Like, hey, you know what? I really don't know. Actually, let me go do some research. Let me go canvas the room. Let me go check some things out and come back to you with a more educated or detailed conversation because it's just it's. I
And
won't
they're
say that
old.
it's just crazy. It's just different.
It is
It's
different, and they're older. And I say this out of respect for my elders, but I noticed, like, even with my mother, for example, like, she raised us, she did her job, her kids are grown and she has
mm-hmm.
grandkids, and she's so much softer than she used to be. And she's just like, baby, I'm tired. And I
Yeah.
respect that because she's honest.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking for like the backup discipline, I'm like, like, they need what I used to get.
Yeah.
Take care. I don't got that energy no more,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm just like, and that's too, like, the older folks don't want it to adapt to the now. Like, unfortunately, you have to get to know technology. You
Yeah.
have to learn how to use that phone. How does your kid have a phone that they know how to work and do everything better than you do?
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair, because now you don't know what's going on in that phone. And me, I'm a big let me see your phone. And
Absolutely.
I do it like spur of the moment. It's not
Mm.
like, oh, you're in the bed, I'm about to use your phone.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you just got home from school. Let me see your phone real quick. Like, but
Yeah.
you have to, because that's the only way you're gonna find whatever it is you're looking to find.
Valid. No, valid.
And it's like, and I'm like, sometimes I find something, sometimes I don't, but at least I know I'm looking. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
for
Like, it's
sure.
there. And I think too, it's like, my oldest actually goes to counseling, and she actually brought it to my attention, like, hey, I have a friend that goes to counseling, I want to try it and
Hmm.
see what it's about. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Goes twice a month, nothing strenuous, but she enjoys it, and when she leaves, I can see the lightness in her when
Hmm.
she comes out.
Hmm.
And at first I was hurt, because I was like,
Like,
dang, like, you talking to this lady and you ain't
you
talking
talking
to
to me?
me, and
Valid.
I'm like, okay, I am your
Valid.
mom, and I get the boundaries of being a parent, but at the same time, I want you to come and talk to me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact that
Yeah.
you came to me and said, hey, I want to try it out, lets me know you care enough about your own mental in
Hmm.
itself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I was a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, well, and I think that's something parents do. They deflect. Like,
Yeah.
kids say, hey, mom, why don't my dad want me? It's just been me and you this whole time.
Mm.
Oh, you worried about your dad and I've been raising you, but I still have
I still
feelings,
have feelings.
and
Yeah.
that breaks my heart, because it's like the tough love is over.
No, valid.
It's
Valid.
over. Please stop
Valid.
doing that.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. I think that now there has to be an efficient love. And I say that meaning that not needing just to be tough, but if for me it's like this. If tough love is required, explain it.
Yeah, true.
Like why now you know now you know
I get it. I
you
get
don't ask why in
it.
in
That's
a
a fact.
household like why because I said so that's enough
That's
ah.
not enough no more.
And I think because of the exposure of things, it's not enough. Because now kids are smart now, and if it don't make sense,
They're gonna go search it up and
they
be like,
gonna
"Well,
search
look, I looked on TikTok
that.
and it showed me
We
like
didn't have we not let me just say we had encyclopedias, okay?
that's a
That
fact.
drink said A through Z, the
We
books were long, and you had to go through it.
do it. I
Meaning
forgot
that
about
we weren't
those.
running to get you said it, we believed it, we had to go with it because
Right.
we weren't getting ready to go and do all that studying and pulling out no encyclopedias, in the National Geographic at the bathroom trying to get
Right.
information. Where now it's like, you said this, Google,
Says this. Yeah.
says no,
The
these
talents.
you're
And I think
valid.
these kids are bolder than we were because I never like I might breathe a little heavy, but I ain't never talked back to my mom. Like never. And even if she thought I did, she was like, "What'd you say?" Like nothing. I was breathing, you know. And I feel like
Yeah.
these kids be like, they just ready to be defensive, and I love that.
Yeah.
But I just wish they understood there's an effective way to go about that.
Yeah, and I said this all. There's a two-way street to this because
Yeah.
as much as you're gonna, and I say this about everything, as much as you're gonna get on the parents, you have a responsibility to talk to the children because
Yes.
there is a borderline of disrespect that is common for them.
Borderline.
I was just at
That's
Niagara.
way over though.
No, Val, I was at Niagara Falls High School on a panel, and I watched these kids just navigate, and I'm a little bit perplexed. I would have put my throat in their ear, like
Listen, they
I
have words that you'd be like, I don't even know that word. Like what? Like, and I'm just like, and it's like they're fluent. Like it just
ye flow.
flows, you know. Like, and I'm like, okay, so this is what you do.
This is
No, that's not
right.
what I do, ma'am. Not, clearly, it is.
It
Like, you
is. It
know,
is.
it's just second nature for them, and I just feel like we truly need to talk to our youth. Like,
Yeah.
and it gets frustrating, I know, because when you do try to make that extent and say, "Hey, how are you? How was school today?"
Yeah.
It was good. All right, but what did y'all do? Oh well, for lunch we really had something good today. Like you know, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
the one word answers, but I feel like that's when we're supposed to dig deeper. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm trying to get to know you, and I don't know what you need unless I tell you. And then two, I think it takes some form of vulnerability from the adults because it's like you know they're saying like your mom you can't
Oh, you better get
you
in trouble.
protecting your kids from the struggle, you know, you can't show your kids that you cry like yo I cry like you know what I'm saying, like, and it ain't always because of my kids. Mom
Yeah.
had a bad day at work today, like
Yeah.
mom
Because
just I don't know.
what you're talking about is not only being vulnerable, it's also having to deal with the flaws of self and watch this sounds crazy and to expose that is scary.
It is.
And then it's like excuse my language, ignorant person is this ammo. Like now
Yeah,
that you throw this back in my face, because when you ask me to be open and vulnerable, you're asking me really almost to be weak
that's a fact.
in front of.
But is it really being weak? Like I was looking when I was doing this search, I'm just like, why is me showing my emotion making me weak? Why?
So because it's a vein that is open like this,
True.
like so it's not it's like being strong is one thing and having some tears to cry great, but when you ask me to open up, that means I'm giving you the essence of who I am without a filter.
That's a
And
fact.
the question for me is like, how you gonna handle that?
Hmm.
It is not that I'm weak. It's just that I'm open,
Right.
and I don't know how you're going to handle
Handle.
what I give, because if you handle it the wrong way, you might do more damage to me,
That's a fact.
and it's a
And
scary.
it gives you more leverage to hurt me. I
Yeah,
feel like
no,
at the same
and
time
that's really
too.
what it is,
It is.
and that's why it's important who you talk to, because I like counselors versus unknown, non-Christian, and both. And the reason I say that is because you shouldn't have any agenda with me because you don't know
No
me.
me, right.
So when I open up my heart here at this table to talk to you, it's unbiased.
Right.
It's different than talking to
Like
my
you said,
grandmother, my dad, my
that's a
aunt, my
fact.
cousin, and my friend. They biased.
Right.
To half of my friends, I'm gonna be right. Other
Hmm.
half, I'm gonna be wrong.
Right.
But
You
y'all
gonna tell you what you
biased.
want to hear.
So
Yeah. So it's
valid
like I
for
get
sure,
that. I
for
get
sure.
that aspect of it. But I don't know. I just feel like for me, it's always leading by example, and I feel like if my kids never see me cry, how they gonna cry in front of me? And I
Mm-hmm.
know that sounds crazy because they cry in front of me, but they never see that deeper layer, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Like I don't want them to see me all enraged and all of that, but just hey, I had a bad day today, and
Yeah,
it just took me a minute to decompress and shake
absolutely.
it off. That's all.
No, for sure.
And also stems back to um a lot of these kids I didn't realize either are raising themselves, and I think it's on the kids too to want to open up. You can't say that we don't understand you, and y'all be honest with you, when you're young, you barely understand yourself,
Right.
so to for us to try to understand you, like that's a whole nother level if you don't let us in. Like you
Yeah.
have to have a point where you understand that the adult is just trying, and if you have a trying adult in your life, you have to. I think you really have to be grateful because you don't. It's not too many of them.
Yeah. Effie Jackson said, "Oh yes, my granddaughter is so curious about everything, and she's 6 years old. I agree. I talked to my granddaughter. I never had the opportunity at my age to actually really opportunity at a young age. Actually, never really did. So these kids are blessed these days because some kids don't have the parent or parents to even mentor. No valid.
That's valid. Yeah.
And I think that having a dialogue of conversation,
Hmm.
because sometimes we yell to get things done
Oh
and we
yes.
don't always grant them the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I
Listen, I get it.
get,
The gentle
get
parenting, I
valid.
get it. Trust me, because
Like,
I don't want to be the hollering mom
yeah,
all the time, and I had to learn like, hey, I'm not hollering because I want to holler. I'm hollering because you're not listening to me.
yeah.
So I had to take that approach too because it's hard though because it's like I said it 4 times. Like so, if I holler, yes, because I need you to hear
I
me.
need you to hear me. If this is not, yeah, soft parenting.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, and I think that because culturally it's been, listen, you're not listening. This is what it's been
Listen,
for us. So now, and let me just say this to any parent that's listening, and if I have the right to say this, you're just trying it.
it's a fact.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. This is something that is new ways that they sprung among us, and maybe they might be accurate. And we're just gonna try it and figure it out. But like I said before, and I'll say it again, nobody intentionally said, "Let me traumatize my kid."
Right.
But things just happen. I'm trying to navigate because one thing that Effie said that Effie Jackson said that she had to raise herself,
Oh wow.
and that her parents wasn't around because they're probably working and doing the things. And there's parents now with, listen, when I get home at the end of the day, these are latchkey kids still
Mm-hmm.
with nowhere to go in this area. Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when I get home off of work, the stuff I actually do needs to be done
Mm-hmm.
because I've already exhausted my time at work. When I
Right.
get home, I want to just chill out now.
Chill.
Even as a parent, it's like I'm gonna cook, but make sure these dishes
It's
clean. Make
clean.
sure
That's
this.
it. And that's me because I gotta go to the radio station real quick. When I come home, I cooked. You better watch these
This is
dishes,
that.
And I get it, but it's like, and I'm really, I'm being more open because I'm taking this gentle parenting route. It's really a
Yeah.
struggle, but I'm telling my daughter, like I did raise you, but my mom helped me so much with
Mm-hmm.
my oldest. So now with the three of us in the house, I'm like, baby, I'm winging it. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally winging it as I go. Me, your dad, we're just trying to figure it out. Like parenting didn't come with this booklet that says, "Here you go."
And that's why I say what I say. Like I'm gonna say right now, I got 3 kids now. Okay, I'm going to do or say something that's going to be trigger or traumatizing to them down the line that they may not realize now. Oh, my
But
dad
later
never
on,
did. Or my
yeah.
dad. Tyra and I are trying to figure it out. We're all
Hmm.
three of y'all.
That's a fact.
Our years of parenting experience of our own, zero. Okay,
Hmm.
we got 1 2 years. We're going on 2 years with Trey, but it's like we still trying to figure it out. We don't even know about child Head Start, daycare, kindergarten, high
Listen,
school, middle way. I don't even call. I
Head
don't.
Start, you better get them enrolled though because they accepting
They on the waiting list right
them.
now. We
Oh,
yeah
Head
they've
Start.
been they've been waiting since, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I get
Head
into
Start.
that. Niagara Falls, do
I don't
better.
want to get into that because it's gonna make me mad
No,
too. They went on waiting list for 3 years. Now
that's
then they
crazy.
call me yesterday or the other day. Talking
Just
about
to remind you.
oh, you can reapply. She's 3. She'll be in school next year. Leave me alone. Like what?
That's
But
wild.
yeah, it's and like you said, it's just a winging it, and it's like I'm doing it over for the second time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, y'all. Like, and this one is way rougher than the first one. Let
Mm.
me tell you. So I'm just like, but I'm learning, and I'm thankful. But it's like I told you, even with my youngest at first, I was like telling the doctors like, "Do she got ADHD? Like, what's going on?"
Valid.
Like and I'm like,
The-
and everybody's like, "Oh, they can't label your kid." I'm like, "Yo, if my baby needs help,
we need help.
label her." Do what you
No,
need to do.
Val, listen to me. Me and my doctor, me and my wife went to the doctor. We thought my son had it, and we answered these questions like, yes,
Yes,
yes, they
yes.
do, yes, they do, yep. So the doctor came in and went through the whole list. Was like, no, he does not. No,
Yeah,
not at all.
it's just normal.
Just normal, just
And
what
I'm
it
like,
is.
okay. And then I did this special ed, and I'm like, they're like, okay, she's gonna need special education. That's
It's
fine. Like,
fine.
get whatever she needs,
Absolutely.
do it. Especially now, it's free. I'm gonna
Right.
do it. So guess what? She's been doing it for a year and a half, talking so great, social
Right.
skills improving. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like you. I don't want to hold my kids back. And like you said,
Yeah.
I know some form of trauma is gonna come for me. Like my oldest might say, "Hey, my mom wasn't there when I was younger. I was with my grandmother all the time."
Yeah.
That's true. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna deny it, and I'm not gonna say, "Oh, you're lying." Like I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that to her.
Yeah.
I know you was with your grandma, and I thank God for your grandma because she let me live my life still.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you kind of can't, like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but don't contradict yourself and tell you, like, be real about what's happening
Yeah.
with you and your kids, and be real to them about what's happening in life,
For
because that's
sure.
the only way you're gonna get the feedback and get to know that child that you're raising.
No, for sure.
And it's like even with them figuring out themselves, like, be encouraging, be like, hey, you look nice today, like,
Mm-hmm.
like, and me, I'm working on that too, because sometimes my daughter wears stuff and I'm just like, how did you put that together? But like these kids don't care about fashion like we did. Like they
Yeah.
care about, she don't care about the name brand, she just care like that it matches, like that
Yeah.
she's like good to go. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it's just, I don't know, it's just different, it's just different, the style
Yeah.
is
Your mama
different.
got too much swag for you to
Yeah,
be
you know what I'm
coming.
saying? Right. And then I'll be like, you represent me when you leave this house. And she'd be like, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
she's comfortable in her own skin, so I
Mhm.
should embrace that. And
Yeah.
I'm learning to. But it's a little hard for me because I'm
Hmm.
like, at the same time, I want to protect you and I want you to,
Be
like,
proper. I want you anybody to dog you
yeah.
to talk.
And I
I
don't
don't
want
want you to
anyone,
trigger a bully.
hello, like, I don't
Yeah.
want you to just turn somebody on, because I've seen men with my own eyes,
Yeah.
like, walking down the street and stop and look, because she is developing, she
Yeah.
is, and I'm just like, I can't protect you from everything. I know y'all gonna experience pain, but we are also here for you, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like. And
Yeah.
I think that's where it kind of goes left a little bit. But I don't know, I just want our kids to understand that we don't want to break any boundaries. We want to have the parent child boundary. I feel like that's a normal boundary to
Yeah.
have. Like, mom, my cousin told me, her daughter says, Mom, you asking too many questions. We got boundaries, remember? Like, and I was like, I like that though. Like, but she's grown. She's grown. She's grown.
Okay.
Okay, she's grown. She's grown. Let me
Yes.
disclaimer, she's grown. But there is a boundary where you understand that your kid isn't gonna want to talk to you about
Yeah.
everything. Like, I'm not gonna come home and say, Hey, mom, I'm dating somebody. Like, I'm gonna figure it out, and then I might say, "Hey, mom, what you think
Hmm.
about this?"
Hmm.
But, and I want the kids to do that. I want them to feel safe. Like, and I don't want you to feel like. I feel like maybe like 1 out of 20 kids was crazy when we were growing up, and it's not.
Hmm.
You're not crazy. You're just going through something. You need
Yeah.
help,
Yeah.
and it's like it's okay to be on medicine. It's okay to whatever you need to do to fix you that makes
Rather.
you feel good is what needs to be done. And I feel like the more you try to hinder that and like, oh, I'm not gonna take my meds, I don't need my meds, and then you having all these outbursts,
Yeah.
what is that really doing for you? And I feel like the outbursts are hindering you more because it's setting you back. It's taking
Hmm.
you back to a place where you don't want to be.
Right.
So why not heal yourself? Why not get help? Why not seek the help? But we can't help you if you don't make that step to say, hey, something's not right.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I'm not feeling okay. Like, mom, I'm feeling like this and I don't know what it is, but I think I need help explaining it.
No, for sure. For sure.
So I just want to say today, mental health is important. It's important for the youth, it's important for adults. I've lost my mind plenty of times and I'm comfortable saying it because I'm still here and I'm sane right now,
Hmm.
But I think it's something that we all go through, and I just think that we have to continue to fight the good fight. Regardless of how you were raised, it's a new day, it's a new generation, and I think we don't realize how powerful our words are. So when you see a youth on the street, just say, "Hey, like, how you doing today?" Like, I like when I see the boys at the basketball court. It was nice the other day. The kids were outside just running, and I was just like, you know what, y'all go ahead and
Hmm.
run. Like, it was nice to see them outside just
Yeah.
playing because these kids have suffered a lot. Like, COVID, we in the house for 2 years. They're away
Hmm.
from their friends for 2 years. Like, school is a getaway. Like it was a getaway for me. If you would have told me in high school that we're not going to school for 2 years, what? I don't know what would have happened. So you just have to be mindful of what they're going through. And yes, they are kids, but just kids have just feelings, and please explain to them that their feelings matter.
Yeah.
That's very important for me, because I'm learning to do that with my daughter, and I just want them to have that covering, like just that protection. And I know music plays a part in it. Music is a whole nother subject
Oh,
because the
for
music
sure.
that they're listening to, it doesn't even make sense. Like I'm just like, what is going on here? But it's like we have to be the adults and monitor that stuff. Like we have to in the morning when I take my kids to school every day. And not because I want to, because I hated taking the bus growing up. So guess what? In return, I take them to school every
Mm.
day. And I make sure I play gospel music. I make sure I talk to them. Have a great day at school. I'll see you later. Just little things like that to pour into their day before their day gets started can make a big difference. So just be mindful of the kids, be mindful of the youth. And in closing, I just want to say one more time that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. It's okay. You won't be in that place forever, but seek help, seek guidance, and even if you don't understand what you're feeling, just seek someone to help you explain and to help you explain it.
Absolutely.
I thank everyone for tuning into this message today. I'll see y'all next week. Inject Mondays. Y'all have a great evening.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith, Hope, Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
Are you ready to launch your business, but you don't know where to begin? Join the Iberio Business Center online program, which serves the Finger Lakes in Rochester, New York. The business course is offered in both English and in Spanish. Take advantage of the different speakers and their expertise throughout this course. The online program includes a pitch competition, which will assist you with funding for your business. For more information, visit iberio.org or call 716-418-4782.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 7